It may shock you to hear this, but if you're seeing this right now, it's definitely no accident. You've gone through trials that felt relentless, each one testing your faith, patience, and self-worth. And God wants you to know you passed every single one with flying colors. If you watch for at least 13 minutes, you confirm you're ready for the full impact of this revelation. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop 77 in the comments to signal to the universe that you're open. Then leave another comment, ready for what's next in your own natural tone. By doing so, you'll trigger immediate, tangible benefits and step into a brand new season of transformation. Chapter 1. You face the ultimate test in silence. You've battled unseen forces, moments where you felt weighed down by disappointments, rejections, or a suffocating sense that life might never improve. Many times you carried these burdens quietly, uncertain if anyone would believe just how intense your trials were. Yet you kept going. As a chosen one, you sensed the deeper purpose behind the setbacks. Even when despair nipped at your heels, you found yourself asking, is there any meaning to this pain? Looking back, each hardship was less a random misfortune and more like a precise examination. God was measuring your ability to stand firm, to remain loving despite harsh circumstances, to keep faith alive when logic said, quit. Perhaps you didn't see it as a test then. You just thought you were unlucky. But now it becomes clear that every heartbreak or betrayal was an assessment of your resilience. You were building an inner musculature that no ordinary challenge could defeat. Your friends and family might have shrugged off your struggles, chalking them up to bad choices or just how life goes. But God saw the nuances. Heaven watched as you navigated moral dilemmas, upheld your ethics, and empathized with others who also suffered. You rarely took shortcuts or compromised your spirit to escape the heat of adversity. That unwavering integrity made you stand out in a world that often chooses quick fixes over depth. Because you didn't cut corners, you soared beyond mere survival. You learned compassion at deeper levels, humility that transforms pride into purpose, and perseverance that outlasts fleeting motivations. It's like you were put through an exam in the dark with no cheat sheets or guides, yet somehow you pulled answers from your soul's library. Now that library is open for reference anytime you face a new challenge. The silence in which you took these tests wasn't a sign that heaven forgot you. Rather, it was a purposeful hush, allowing you to prove your devotion without external applause or interference. Chosen ones often receive the hardest questions because God trusts them to uncover a profound answer. And so you did. Today you stand on the other side, your spirit scoreboard reading 100 out of 100. You might feel battered, but your soul beams with a quiet triumph that can't be faked. Remember, you never gave up. And that's precisely why your passing grade holds such magnitude. Now, as the world continues spinning, you no longer question whether your trials served a purpose. They molded you into someone who can't be easily swayed by illusions or superficial judgments. And if you sense a new wave of opportunity or recognition stirring around the corner, it's not coincidence. It's your validation that you truly aced the toughest exam of your life. Chapter 2. Your resilience shook the spiritual realm. The average person drifts through life without confronting their deeper potential. They might compromise values or settle into a cycle of apathy. But you, faced with a barrage of hardships, responded differently. Instead of caving, you found ways to adapt, to glean lessons, and to grow stronger. This approach reverberated through spiritual dimensions, catching the attention of forces both divine and dark. Heaven saw your unwavering stance and marveled at how negativity couldn't crush your essence. Your perseverance rattled the status quo in unseen realms. Negative energies that thrive on despair or cynicism couldn't get a solid grip on your spirit. They poked and prodded, hoping you'd snap and lash out. But each time, you found a way to anchor in faith. That steadfastness disrupted the usual patterns of defeat, like shining a bright spotlight into corners that typically remain dark. The universe took notice, labeling you as someone who doesn't yield to fear. This disruption also commanded respect from any spiritual watchers tasked with gauging your journey. Like exam proctors, they recorded each instance where you rose above blame, refused revenge, or maintained hope in the face of heartbreak. Time after time, your reactions confirmed you possess a rare resilience. This isn't about moral perfection. It's about your willingness to keep trusting even when a storm raged. Such trust stands as the ultimate defiance against gloom. God designed chosen ones to set new precedents. Through your story, others realize what's possible when faith meets persistence. They see that one individual, convinced of a higher promise, can outlast a barrage of negativity. Whether or not you publicly share your trials, your energy alone radiates an example, piercing cynicism in those you encounter. On a subtle level, you're a beacon that navigates others toward hope. That's how the spiritual realm uses your tested spirit to catalyze mass awakenings. As you sense this shift, you might wonder, why do I feel an extra intensity right now? Because your success in these tests isn't just a personal milestone, it unlocks new tasks the universe has prepared for you. Divine sources see you as ready for higher-level missions, leading communities, innovating solutions, or simply inspiring crowds who languish in doubt. Your resilience qualified you for advanced spiritual assignments that require unwavering grit. No wonder you feel an undercurrent of excitement mixed with solemn responsibility. But don't fret. The same resilience that got you here ensures you'll handle elevated roles with grace. You aren't the naive soul who once wavered at every trial. Now you carry a calm certainty, a stance that says, I have seen darkness, and I'm still standing. That quiet assurance is your cosmic ID badge, granting you access to realms of influence, where your presence alone can tip the balance toward light and truth. Chapter 3. You're recognized as a pillar among people. You might not have sought attention, but others can't help noticing your perseverance. Word travels in subtle ways. Friends whisper about your incredible comeback. Colleagues remark on how you remain calm under pressure. Family members recall your unwavering kindness despite private struggles. Gradually, you've built a reputation as a pillar, a stable anchor in turbulent times. And while part of you might shy from the spotlight, it's becoming clear that your test results, your character proven in adversity, are leading others to look up to you. In everyday interactions, you see subtle shifts. Perhaps coworkers lean on you for guidance, or neighbors confide in you during crises. You don't feel self-important. You simply respond with empathy and wisdom gleaned from your own heartbreaks. But to them, your counsel is gold. They sense an authority that doesn't derive from a job title or loud declarations, but from genuine survival of life's harshest storms. In a world brimming with shallow advice, your groundedness is priceless. This doesn't mean you must fix everyone's problems. God didn't give you a 100% pass so you could become a perpetual caretaker. Your role is to shine a light on possibility, show them the door, but let them walk through it. Encourage them, but don't get entangled in draining their burdens. Boundaries remain crucial, for even pillars have to stand upright, not collapse under the weight of others' indecision. As the sense of you're the go-to person now expands, you might wonder if you're capable of bearing that load. The answer is yes, but only with self-care. The very tests that refined you also taught that burnout arises when you pour from an empty cup. Keep your spiritual routines, prayer or reflective breaks, intact. They sustain your new position as a guiding force. When you tire, you know how to replenish, respecting that your body and mind remain instruments of your mission, not disposable assets. This recognition from people also sets off ripple effects. They tell their friends, you need to talk to them. Their perspective is gold. Before long, your name circulates among circles you haven't personally met. Observers might label your calm or wise input as supernatural or unbelievable, but for you, it's just a fruit of your spiritual synergy with God. The more you humbly accept this trust, the more doors swing open for you to serve a broader audience. In accepting this role, never forget the anchor that sustains you. The 100% score on your life test isn't an invitation to arrogance, but a reminder that your capabilities come from divine empowerment. You remain a humble student even as you function as a teacher. This tension, leading while still learning, keeps you pliable in God's hands. People sense that humility and find it disarming, prompting them to truly hear your words. Thus, your influence grows organically, grounded in sincerity rather than forced promotion. Chapter 4. Your confidence unlocks new realms. Imagine entering a room you once felt unworthy of, maybe a high-level meeting, a creative pitch session, or a social sphere filled with accomplished names. Now something inside you stands taller. You're not trembling over possible rejection. You're not shrinking to blend in. Instead, you approach with a calm conviction that your voice, your ideas, matter. That's the radical shift that happens after God confirms your readiness. You sense an internal badge of approval, a spiritual license to explore territories once deemed off limits. It's not arrogance that fuels this new stride, but a serene belief in your worth. You recall how you braved storms, overcame internal and external hindrances, and refused to crumble under pressure. Why then should any environment intimidate you now? Now you realize these new realms, be they financial, social, or intellectual, aren't inherently closed to you. They only appeared so because your prior mindset lacked the boldness to step forward. Doors once shut might crack open simply because you dare to knock. When you carry yourself with unwavering certainty, even gatekeepers pause to consider the substance behind your presence. They might ask you questions, test your depth, but your authenticity stands firm. Each inquiry only highlights that you're more than qualified. And since heaven declares you're ready, you won't succumb to second guessing. Instead, you relish the chance to articulate your truths or demonstrate your skills. In stepping into these new spheres, you might initially feel a rush of euphoria, followed by waves of potential imposter syndrome. Old beliefs about your limitations can flare up. This is normal, a vestige of the old identity that can't die instantly. Yet each time doubt creeps in, recall the divine exam you passed. That 100% score signals you're not stumbling in uninvited. You're walking in alignment with God's bigger blueprint for your life. The moment self-doubt tries to sabotage you, remind yourself that your presence in any space is sanctioned by higher authority, not just your own whim. As you settle into these updated environments, be prepared for collaborations that spark synergy you never imagined. Maybe you meet a mentor with the exact expertise you need, or a partner whose project complements your calling. Some of these connections might even appear accidental, like bumping into someone at a cafe who overhears you discussing an idea. Yet you know such accidents usually indicate divine orchestration, as though the universe is weaving your path with the right people at the right time. Don't overlook humility. Though confidence is one thing, staying teachable is another. Each new round has its own learning curve, and acknowledging you're a student keeps your perspective fresh. People appreciate leaders who aren't afraid to ask questions or admit they don't have all the answers. This open stance garners deeper respect and fosters more meaningful alliances. By combining boldness with a willingness to evolve, you become a force that not only enters new domains, but also leaves an unmistakable imprint of grace and progress. Chapter 5. You're calibrating for greater impact. Every move you make now echoes wider. Friends, followers, or even strangers who tune in see your strides and adjust their beliefs about what's possible. You might not have set out to become an influencer of sorts, but your journey radiates and ripples. You can't always track who is watching, how you respond to criticism, how you handle success, how you juggle personal struggles. Each choice you make, consciously or not, shapes how they perceive courage, resilience, and faith. Because you sense the weight of this influence, you calibrate your life carefully. You pay attention to your emotional state, your spiritual hygiene, and your circle of confidence. Old habits that drain your energy, procrastination, overindulgence, or negative self-talk, cannot accompany you onto the bigger stage. You part ways with them so your mental clarity remains unpolluted. This selective approach to daily routines, media consumption, or relationships keeps your flame burning bright, ensuring no illusions dull your vision. Calibration also involves checking your motivations. With greater impact comes the possibility of an inflated ego, or the temptation to impress people just to maintain applause. But remember, your real fuel is God's calling, not public flattery. If you sense your ego swelling, step back and realign your intentions. What's my ultimate purpose here? To flaunt success or to uplift through my anointed gifts? By staying grounded in spiritual humility, you shield your heart from distortions that could derail your newfound influence. Simultaneously, your calibration might involve practical skill building. If you're about to give talks, you refine your communication. If you're launching a product or service, you streamline your approach. It's not about perfectionism. It's about ensuring you steward your blessings responsibly. The universe invests in you because you've proven reliable in smaller tests. Now, as you handle bigger tasks, your thoroughness demonstrates gratitude for the trust placed in you. In this stage of fine-tuning, you also develop deeper empathy. It dawns on you that many people yearn for the breakthroughs you're experiencing but lack the blueprint. By offering genuine counsel or even simple encouragement, you become a lighthouse to them. This compassion stands at the core of your calibration, reminding you that being chosen is less about personal glory and more about collective uplift. Each step you take sets an example, so you press on with gentle resolve, aware that eyes are upon you, gleaning hope from your journey. Ultimately, calibration is a daily rhythm, a commitment to embody the best version of yourself for the sake of the bigger picture. Each sunrise, you arise and acknowledge, I hold the potential to transform environments, not just my own life. This acceptance fuels each decision you make, pushing you toward consistent integrity. By caring for your energy, your motives, and your skill set, you remain an excellent vessel for the destiny that beckons. And with every adjustment, you lock into the truth that you pass the ultimate divine exam. So it's only natural that the cosmos entrusts you with greater spheres of influence. Chapter 6. Your courage sends shockwaves to former detractors. Not everyone's thrilled about your sudden surge. Some who once witnessed your struggles took silent comfort in thinking you'd always stay below them. Now that God has stamped you as ready, the shift in your aura rattles their complacency. Perhaps you recall specific individuals who belittled your goals or profited from your insecurities. Suddenly, they watch from the sidelines as the underdog transforms into a formidable presence, someone no longer cowering or deferring. This shock is a testament to your resilience. They see a new confidence and realize they can't manipulate you with old tactics. Every step you take redefines the old dynamic, leaving them unsure of how to approach you. Some might mask their surprise with compliments laced with subtle jabs, while others hold back entirely, too intimidated to re-engage. Either way, your metamorphosis renders them speechless, part admiration, part disbelief. You need not taunt or seek revenge. God's elevation of you is proof enough that their attempts to stifle you never stuck. Instead, your life becomes a living parable of what unwavering faith and perseverance can yield. By simply existing in your empowered state, you deliver a silent sermon. You tried to break me, but God had other plans. Even if they never verbally acknowledge their remorse or confusion, you sense it in their awkward silences or forced friendliness. This scenario is where forgiveness can flourish. Chosen ones don't cling to grudges that weigh them down. Yes, you recall the pain inflicted, but you hand it over to higher justice. In freeing yourself from bitterness, you also deny negativity any renewed foothold in your life. The fact that your success now intimidates those who once undermined you is poetic justice enough. God ensures each tear you cried was invested, not wasted, and now yields dividends that surpass common understanding. As word of your progress spreads, some detractors might timidly attempt to come back, hinting at peace or catching up. Discern with care. True remorse is possible, but you don't owe them immediate trust. Let your intuition guide you on whether to keep them at a friendly distance or to give them a second chance. The clarity is yours because you no longer base decisions on fear of their reactions. You base them on what fosters your highest good and aligns with divine flow. So as your courage radiates outward, it sends ripples through the networks where once you felt small. People who once held power over you now scramble to find their footing. But you're not gloating. You're simply standing tall in your authenticity. By doing so, you reaffirm that the universe invests in those who invest in themselves, who keep faith alive against all odds. And in that reaffirmation, the naysayers learn a potent lesson. Genuine empowerment, blessed by heaven, is far beyond their capacity to control or diminish. Chapter 7. You're stepping into unshakable destiny. This entire journey, every heartbreak, test, and subtle sign has led you to a threshold where your destiny takes tangible form. You sense it in your gut. The time is now. Everything you've endured has been orchestrated for this pivotal moment. In mere days, you cross from preparation into full-scale activation, stepping into a season where every skill you've honed will serve an even greater purpose. Having aced God's exam, you stand primed for the next chapter, one that dwarfs every achievement you once considered significant. And rest assured, the promise isn't some abstract vision. It's a concrete reality soon to unfold, bringing genuine breakthroughs in career, relationships, or spiritual assignments that once felt forever out of reach. You might soon awaken to an unexpected call, a long-awaited message, or a face-to-face meeting that crystallizes the significance of your preparation. Alternatively, a sudden wave of insight might flood your consciousness, granting you instant clarity on your next bold step. Either way, the universe is orchestrating a pivot so momentous it reconfigures your life's entire blueprint. No more half measures or waiting on external nods of approval. The calling that's been nudging at your heart takes center stage, sanctioned by the highest authority with a flawless divine score. In stepping into this destiny, notice how your internal posture begins to shift. Where you once yearned for external endorsements, you now cling to God's voice as your true compass. Should detractors question or belittle your trajectory, you proceed calmly, aware that your assignment comes from a heavenly script, not from human expectations. The deeper your conviction grows, the more the universe arranges circumstances in your favor, transforming what once seemed like a complicated detour into direct, straightened paths. Trust that an invisible intelligence arranges each puzzle piece in perfect harmony, ensuring that nothing is wasted, delayed, or out of place. This new dimension showers you with a kind of joy unshaken by temporary obstacles. Yes, adversity may still appear on your horizon, but it will feel like a test you've already mastered countless times. Unburdened by doubt, you direct your energy into meaningful, tangible pursuits. Whether you're designing innovative solutions, building alliances with like-minded visionaries, or creating inspiring content that ignites the same flame of purpose in others. Each morning greets you with a sense of mission, an electric thrill that resonates with the knowledge that you're living out your precise role in a grand cosmic production. And indeed, the journey continues to evolve, for those marked by destiny never graduate from growth. Yet you move forward with the calm assurance of a victor who has already stared down defeat and emerged stronger. This self-awareness charges every decision with a higher sense of purpose. Each choice, large or small, becomes another thread in the tapestry of your unfolding destiny, weaving in layers of wisdom, color, and impact. You know you're already deemed worthy, but each new day grants an opportunity to express that worthiness through consistent, inspired action. So embrace the new season with an undivided heart. Stop constraining your own potential. Stop second-guessing your capacity. And most importantly, stop underestimating the magnitude of what God can accomplish through you. The divine exam you passed was never just about personal tenacity. It was an affirmation that you're a conduit for limitless possibility. Because you were faithful in smaller tasks, the universe now entrusts you with far greater responsibilities, certain that your unwavering spirit can steward them to fruition. Step confidently onto that stage. Let your gifts flow unreservedly, and watch as every single day becomes evidence of what transpires when heaven proclaims you're ready.